Welcome to another Business Spotlight, where we share insights, reflections, and pearls of wisdom from local business leaders. My name is Kerry James. I'm a business coach and a facilitator. And this morning, I'm delighted to welcome to Business Spotlight Chief Exec of the North Cheshire Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Terry Hayward. Good morning to you, Terry. Great to have you on.
Thanks, Kerry. Good morning to you as well. I hope you're well. It's great to be here. Always like to have a chat about what we do here at the Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. Well, most of these business spotlights, of course, are with business owners, so slightly different slant today. But let's start off with how long have you been Chief Exec of the Chamber, please, Terry? And what do you see as your main challenges as a Chamber of Commerce?
So I took on the role in May last year, so I've been in post now just over a year. And I guess the challenge is like trying to run any business at the moment. It's a tough economic environment, isn't it? But the main aim of the role is to get out and to help local businesses to grow through whether it's networking or just the support we can give them. We're a membership organisation, and it's just helping those members to do whatever it is that they want to do. Really, that's the challenge of the job. I love it because it gets me out talking to a lot of business owners, business leaders. So it's a fun job to do. Yeah, that's about it, really.
And what qualifications and background does a chief exec of a chamber need, Terry? And tell us a little bit more about your background, if that's okay, because we'll definitely come on to lessons as a business owner. So what's your background, please?
Yeah, so I've had a couple of businesses myself. I started life as a police officer, a young police officer. Knew that wasn't the career I wanted to pursue, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do at the time. But I did it for 10 years. I left the force in 1997. I was part of a team that did a management buyout of an adventure travel business, which we ran until 2008. We sold that business in 2008, and then I don't know how it happened, but I ended up in a software business. So I set the business up in Macclesfield in 2009, and we sold that business in 2013. And it was then I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce. So I knew what the Chamber did. And since 2013, I've run my own small consultancy, working with business owners and senior leaders, just helping them to grow their own businesses. And I guess that knowledge of local businesses was why I ended up as Chief Exec of the Chamber. I was approached by the Chief Exec who was in post last year. She was ready for retirement, and I like the sound of it, so that's how I ended up here.
Okay, so in preparing for this interview, I realized that I'd been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for about 5 years, but then thinking through it, I didn't really have a detailed grasp of the financial structure of a Chamber of Commerce, how it links to the British Chamber of Commerce. Is it a franchise? How does that all work? So it'd be great to get an overview from your perspective, please, Terry.
Well, we're a membership organisation, as I said. We're not, a lot of people think we're government funded, and back several years ago, there was some government funding, but no longer. So we're completely independent. There's around about, I think, but don't quote me, there's 600, I think, chambers of commerce across the UK, and we're one of 5 in Cheshire. There's only about 60 of them are actually affiliated to the British Chambers of Commerce. We're not, but we work very closely with our colleagues in Chester, which is West Cheshire, and in Crewe, South Cheshire, Congleton, and of course there's another one in Warrington as well. But our funding is entirely from our membership. So the member organisations pay a membership fee, and that's how we're funded. There is no government funding, which does surprise quite a lot of people.
And how do you sort of segment and target your audiences then, Terry? Because I know at one end of the spectrum you got my former employers, AstraZeneca, as a kind of partner, and I'm sure you work with a lot of one-man bands that are members of the Chamber of Commerce. So how do you manage that diversity of potential customers?
Well, the different businesses want different things from the Chamber of Commerce. Some of them, it's very much part of their corporate social responsibility. They want to support local businesses. So by being members of the Chamber, certainly someone like AstraZeneca, who are patrons of the Chamber, we've got people like Avanti, Manchester Airport Group. You know, they see it as supporting local businesses, because for them, you know, it can be that, you know, people come out, join smaller businesses. If we can keep that talent here in Cheshire, then it may be that they go to work for people like AstraZeneca at the, you know, further on in their career. So that's part of what they do. For the smaller businesses, it's very often for the networking opportunities. We run a lot of events. And so if you are trying to grow your business, then it's a great opportunity to get out and to build through networking. We also have newsletters, we have magazines, so there's always opportunities for our members to advertise what they do and to promote what they do through those mediums. And we can offer introductions as well. You know, we have a very good relationship with other chambers of commerce. So if a business is looking to specifically get into an organization, then we can look to do introductions through our own network. So it's that's really what we do. It's that introduction, helping businesses to grow. At the end of the day, that's what we do. We're helping businesses to grow.
If there's people watching the spotlight who are business owners that are not part of any chamber or network at the moment, how might you target or identify your competitors, Terry, and how might you differentiate what the chamber offers from those competitors?
That's a really good question. I don't think I've ever considered it. I mean, when you think about other member organisations, I mean, you know, you think of the Federation of Small Businesses, you might think of the Institute of Directors, those kind of things. And I don't think we see ourselves as in competition with them. I think, you know, we work alongside them, we work with them. You know, we just try to do the best we can to make sure that the environment here, specifically in North Cheshire, is the best it can possibly be for businesses to do whatever they do, whether that's, you know, liaising through the local council. I was with our MP at the weekend as well, promoting a couple of issues that we've got that we want him to get involved with. So I think we work alongside the organisations rather than in competition with them. That's how I would answer that.
Okay, you mentioned working in partnership with other Cheshire-based chambers. How does North Cheshire compare and differ from other local chambers? And I would like to come on to talk more about aspirations, but let's deal with that question first. How would you say it compares in terms of size and shape and activities?
Yeah, you know, it's a good question. I think we're very similar in size to South Cheshire, based in Crewe. We're probably a little bit bigger than Congleton, and we're definitely smaller than West Cheshire, who cover, you know, a big chunk of North Wales as well. So, you know, as I say, we have 165 members in our chamber. I have a target because, you know, my background when I had the adventure travel business was sales. So I always like to set myself a target, and I'd love to see our chamber grow to around about 300 members. I think we can do. There's something like 6,000 businesses in our region, so there's no reason why we can't be 300. And I think the more businesses we have, the more diverse businesses we have, the better it is for all our members, because they get to mix with that much wider group of people.
So you mentioned increasing numbers there then, Terry. What sort of timescale did you have in mind there? And more broadly, what other aspirations do you have for the chamber, please?
Well, one of the first things was that it used to be called Macclesfield Chamber of Commerce, and the chamber has been very Macclesfield-centric. And so one of the first things I've tried to do since I took up the post is to reach out to businesses across the whole of the region, Knutsford, Alderley Edge, Poynton, Wilmslow, to be more reflective of the area as a whole, and that's been reasonably successful. Off the back of COVID, you know, there was 2 years when there was very little face-to-face stuff done, and so a lot of our events fell away. So we've worked really hard over the last 12 months to bring on a really good timetable of events, again, spread across the region, some morning networking, some lunches, evening, sociable ones, we're doing some networking, just a real variety to make sure that our members are getting what they want from the chamber. And that's, that takes a lot of effort. Running events, I'm sure Kerry, running events is very time consuming, but it's very, very rewarding when people are telling you, look, they're really enjoying the variety of the events that we do. So, we'll continue to do that. And in the last year, we've already brought on nearly 50 new members. So I don't see any reason why over the course of the next 12 months, we can't bring on another 50. And that's the sort of numbers that we're targeting.
Okay. Let's move on to kind of the lessons that you've learned as a business owner and how you're applying those to the current role. Terry, what, in reflecting on your career as a business owner, what advice might you give to somebody who's starting off as a business owner today?
I think one of the lessons that it took me a while to learn was hiring smarter people than yourself. Surround yourself with smart people, and that's the best way to do things. And also, it's about personality. It's getting the right personality. You can teach people skills. That's not a problem generally if you get the right personality. But that's what you need to do. And I think business owners sometimes fail to do that. They look for the skills, and they end up with characters maybe that aren't, don't really fit in that well with the team. So I learned that, and once I learned that, the organisations I was senior in, I always felt were better than probably the first 4 or 5 years when I was very much looking for skills. So recruiting the right people is definitely one of the lessons. It took a while to learn, but once I had felt I was doing it right, the businesses were far more successful.
Okay, and are there any particular skills that you've needed within your role as the chief exec of the chamber that you've taken from your career, which kind of is the top of the list that you've needed to draw upon, would you say?
I mean, a lot of people tell me I'm and I know I'm a fairly outgoing guy. I like to get out. I like to meet people, and I guess that's the single, most important skill for me. It is just getting out, being happy to go out, meet people. I listen. I do. I talk a lot. You can tell from this interview, but listening is really important as well. Listen to, what are the challenges facing local businesses? What are the issues that they're facing? And then try and work out how I might be able to help them. And that's something that's, really important in this kind of role in a membership organisation.
Excellent. All right, Terry. Well, thank you for making it very easy for me as the interviewer today. On a final note, then, if anybody's watching the Business Spotlight and are maybe not members of the chamber, but are interested in comparing and contrasting the different options, what might be a sensible first step in helping them make their decision in relation to the chamber?
Well, I always say our best advocates are our members, and so first of all, have a look at the website, North Cheshire Chamber of Commerce website. Have a look at what we do. Have a look at the events we run, and if that is something that a business owner feels would be beneficial for them, then give us a call and just have a chat with us about it. And we'll more than happily, even if they're not members, we're always happy to connect people. If they're looking for specific businesses that they want to do business with, we are always happy to connect people. At the end of the day, whether they're members of the chamber or not, we're just all about trying to make our area as vibrant a business community as we possibly can. But our members speak for us. They tell us it's great to be part of the chamber. It's helped them to grow their businesses, and we'll continue to do that.
Very good. All right, Terrell, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for your time and your thoughts and views today. I'm very much looking forward to the next lunch at the chamber and drinks on the patio up the road at Shrigley Hall. So I look forward to seeing you there. And thanks very much, and all the very best with your efforts with the chamber.
Well, thank you, Kerry, and yes, I look forward to seeing you as well. And we've got some great events coming up. We always have a bit of fun over the summer as well, whether it's the ice cream parlour in Poynton or drinks on the patio at Shrigley Hall. it's they're the kind of things we do all the time. So I look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, Terry. All the very best. Bye for now.